rusty card shop on the edge of town. Boys and girls come gather, slinging spells around, stealing mana from the earth. Summoning creatures tall with a deck of cardboard secrets, ready for the brawl.
Hey everyone, welcome to Turn2Gaming. I'm your host, Matt Bartram, and I'm with my friend, AJ. How you doing, AJ?
Doing all right. How you doing, Matt?
I am doing fantastic. I just got done with the work weekend and just ready to get stuff going. I said we had to postpone our recording this week, but I'm excited about talking about your tournament and seeing how things went. Would you like to kind of go over what happened this Saturday for you?
Yeah, so I think every couple months there's a Pauper win a box at different stores around where I live, and I've gone to two of them, and the first one I got top 8, and this last one I got top 8, so pretty exciting there.
What kind of deck were you playing?
Well, I was gonna play my tried and true Blue Terror because I've been playing variants of that for probably a better part of a year, but subsequently on the last event that I played in, I saw the card Sneaky Snacker, and one that's a fun word to say, but it's actually a really good card, and I was like, oh. So I was just, as I was getting my deck ready Friday night before, I was like, oh, wow. Like, I was looking through deck lists and just seeing if there was any kind of sideboard tech I needed. And I saw that deck and I realized I actually have everything except for like 4 cards. And luckily the store had those cards. So I was like, you know what? I bet it's going to be the same people at this tournament. Or roughly the same people, you know, because a lot of people play a lot locally. Had to drive almost an hour excuse me, to get up there, but when I made my way there, sure enough, it was not the same amount of people, but about 16 to 17 people, and I am glad I switched up decks. So what I decided to do is went with blue black fairies, and it leans on the interaction of the Modern Age, which is the saga that makes you discard a card. Sorry, it makes you draw a card, then discard a card. And, ideally you play that, pitch your Sneaky Snacker, and then you play Brainstorm, or any of the number of draw cards or draw 3, and get back those snackers, and you got a bunch of flyers, and you use Spellstutter Sprite, which was a really good card throughout the whole tournament for me. I've never really had good luck with it, but this tournament I did, which was awesome. Snuff Out, of course, and as Matt could, I'm sure, tell you, I played blue-black control Gurmag for a long time before I jumped over to blue. So, I had a couple Gurmag anglers in there, and I'm trying to think what else. And I'll go ahead and pull up the list I copied, because I didn't come up with anything by myself. I basically just copy and pasted the list, which is fine. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that, Matt?
I think that's a pretty fair deck. I mean, like, I haven't played it myself, but Sneaky Snacker is a very good card. Pitch it, try to draw 3 cards. You have the benefit with using blue that you can draw those 3 cards before your turn happens, so you can untap them and swing in, kind of give you that whole tempo play / you got that, or I guess you should say mid-range play, because you could either potentially get that all done in maybe like 1 turn, but you can also get it done over time as well. And I think that's a very cool concept of a card. I think Sneaky Snacker is definitely probably one of the most popular cards that have came out recently. I believe it came out in what, MH3? Is that or is it or was it the new Eldraine?
You know, that's a good question.
Here, let me check it out.
Let me look it up because I am so bad about. Yeah, it's Modern Horizons 3.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
Which that came out last summer, right? Didn't it? Modern Horizons 3?
Oh man, let me check here.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, June of 24.
Yeah, so I'm surprised it's taken, you know, like I guess this long for the card to kind of make a splash because, you know, there are some obvious downsides with it, you know, coming into play tapped and they're not having flash. Like if that had flash, it would literally be. The whole time I was playing the deck, I kept feeling like, oh, I can play this. Like my brain was saying I could play this on my opponent's turn, but it doesn't have flash, so I couldn't. So I just kept thinking that over and over again, and I'm like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah,
you know, you got, yeah.
Yeah, because like, I mean, like I think in a sense it does have. I mean, the card itself does not have flash, but people who are playing it in blue have the potential of making that card flash.
Yes.
And I think that's probably where you're getting a little confused at.
Yep, because the other deck guy was like, oh, you know, I played Cryptic Serpent, Delver Secrets, you know, Tolarian Terror. I love Murmuring Mystic, so I was like, I wanted to play that deck because I just feel more comfortable with it. I, you know, picked up a few of the one-ofs and just, you know, trying something different. But
right. That's how.
But yeah, I just wanted to do something different this time, just to try it out.
So I guess. So you said you topped 8. Let's kind of go over the each rounds here. You said your first round, I believe you told me it was mono red.
Yeah. So really great opponents. It was a really fun time. I didn't have any crazy stories this time around. Which
didn't get any buys, did
typical. You? No, I didn't get any buys.
Oh, that's good.
I
mean, I guess that story might be a little bit different. That might be like the only few times where you might want to buy, unless it's like towards the end.
I guess true. Well, you know, it's like if you go like, you know, 2-0, 3-0, you pretty much could like draw into the top 8. But both times, the first time and this time, I went 3-2. So I fought all my way to it and got in each time.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt very proud of myself for that. It's a lot of times you hit that 0-2 and you're like, oh man, you know, should I just go home? You know, hour drive. You know, but I was patient and it paid off. But yeah, so the first round was from my understanding, my opponent was just borrowing it from a friend. But it was like Kiln Fiend burn.
Mm-hmm.
And he played it really well. He just had everything he needed to win. So I didn't have any chance. It was
yeah. Did it have
I hit my.
Did it have a Festival Crasher and Get You Amplifier?
I don't think so. No, this is an older list. Like this is maybe like I want to say like a year or so ago. Like, you know, something like not current meta list, so to speak.
Well, it just goes to show you that you don't have to play the most meta deck to get somewhere in the game.
Nope. No, you don't. But you know, I think with any red deck you can have that kind of surprise, so to speak, because I mean he played Kiln Fiend and then a Kiln Fiend, and I was like, okay, well I got to deal with one of them.
Right.
And Snuff Out's not really good against red decks, so I was like,
yes.
Okay, and oh man, it was rough. Like, you know, I thought I could pull through and get some of those, you know, I guess the turnaround, so to speak, but it didn't work out of that first round, so that was kind of a bummer. Excuse me.
Did you win any rounds against him, or was it just you lost both 0-2?
No, I just lost both. I
man.
thought the second round was gonna win, but he just pulled ahead of me, and I was like,
Yeah, that's
you know.
not,
But I always try to play through, even if I know I'm gonna lose. I try to play through my outs,
yeah.
just so I know I did everything I could. So
Yeah, it's kind of funny because you mentioned Snuff Out, and Snuff Out, great card. But going against Burn, you just literally just fire blast yourself in the face to get rid of a creature.
I know, especially when you're going against a black deck too. You just know that card's gonna do nothing.
Yep.
So I had to wait for cast down and wait for other removal.
Yep.
And it's just a weird game.
Yeah, just think because they didn't have cast down for the longest time in Pauper, so Snuff Out was probably one of the main options for a hot minute.
Yep, I think it was that, and then
Murder.
Yeah, probably Murder would be the one that was used the most.
3 mana to kill something.
But you know, looking at this list, I just, like I said, I copy and pasted it from this Pauper challenge on the 3rd of May.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of one-ofs. Like there's one Dispel, one Focus the Mind, which is a new card from Dragonstorm, which is cool. It says this spell costs 2 less to cast if you've cast another spell this turn. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Perfect for the game plan. There's only one in there though. It did work out for me. I used it for the one time I used it. It worked out the way it was supposed to. So, but there's one Dispel, one Focus the Mind, one Spell Pierce, one Unexpected Fangs, one Deep Analysis, one Extracted Confession, and one Preordain. So, interestingly enough, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 cards that are basically flex spots, if you want to think about them that way.
Yeah. Right.
So, Extracted Confession overperformed, though. That's from Murders, and I really like that card because I forced my opponent to sack a really big Writhing Chrysalis. We'll get to that round in a second, but it's basically an edict. But if you collect the evidence, instead each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control.
Oh, nice.
So that was like that was really cool. I felt like big brain there for a second. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get rid of that card, get rid of that card, and like systematically, you know, bring it back down.
Right.
But no, it doesn't have a big splashy. It does run Thorn of the Black Rose for card draw with Monarch, which I was a little worried about. But you know, I just sided those out on the red matchups, and
yeah, Monarch is not good against a mono red deck.
No, and it's not good against the other deck, the Gruul Ramp that I played.
Yeah.
Because I might as well just give them Monarch.
Right.
Like, or if I even live to that point, because man, that turn 2 Thermocast or turn 3 Acid Moss, you might as well just pack it up as a blue-black or blue-black player, because you can't do anything. And he knew what to target too.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get the one that you need the most. Get rid of that one.
Yeah. I will say so. Yeah, so that was the first round. Lost that round, so I was a little bummed going in the second round. I played Grixis. Second round. Grixis Affinity.
Okay.
So
very another fast-paced deck, I'm guessing.
Yes, and funny enough, they just had a problem with hitting the lands, and I capitalized on that. And it was, I think it would have been a little tougher matchup if they would have gotten makeshift munitions online. But when you draw the removal and the counters in tandem, it is extremely hard and frustrating for your opponent to do anything. So I felt really bad. Because you know, you want a little bit of that give and take, but what I'm doing is delay, and then swing in with all the flyers and the Gurmag Angler. So my game plan worked out.
Did you win both rounds against him then?
I did. I 2-0'd him.
Okay, so he just never got makeshifts on the ground, did he?
Nope.
Yeah, because currently they're running one. They're running only like one in the deck right now too.
Yeah. Which is typical. I mean, it's not like it's like the thing is this. Ooh, excuse me. With the refurbished familiar, you know, I was countering that card because, when you start stacking that card with the Ichor Wellspring, and it's just so much value. It's so crazy.
Yeah. And I tell you what's interesting too, because remember how they end up getting rid of whatever you call it. Oh, what was the card they just banned in Pauper, the black card?
Oh, Deadly Dispute.
And now they're playing just Fanatic Offering, which still gives you that
Yeah.
that ability for a token, an artifact. So I don't know if it really did too much. Do you think it actually slowed down the Affinity deck then at this point?
Yes, just like a notch. Like you already were like they're taking one fanatical off to play Toxin Analysis, which I think is cool because it lets you investigate for a black, and you get Death Touch and Lifelink. So yeah, it sure enough is like definitely not as like potent as it was. Deadly
Right.
Dispute with that treasure token. See, it's mana ramp with instead of the map token, which map token is Explorers. So it's like it's good, but it's also not treasure. You know what I mean?
Right, because you can't just use it to sack from mana at this point.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that I didn't really get to see the full-fledged combo slash, and now that I remember it, the thing he did get online was Tithing Blade. So he might have been running like the meta behind, like a couple months ago,
Right.
before some of these others. So that's what I also have to remember is I know we tend to like look at the most recent, but sometimes people don't update their decks, me included, to the exact thing that's happening right now in the meta, especially for something like an eternal format like Pauper.
Oh yeah, that and like it's a local store, so they're probably not going to be the top of the top at the moment.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, and that's cool because I mean, then you're gonna get like different variety of decks which still do their thing, but they don't have all the same cards, which is more fun, I think, when you're playing the tournament.
Okay, so you went in the tournament, you lost your first one, won your second one. Your third round was at Grow Ramp?
Yes, and this is the one where I thought I was doing well, and then I grossly underestimated how like bad it was just really rough. Like, because not only were they hitting their lands and their mana ramp, they had the Allosaurus, the boarding party. I was countering Avenging Hunters, trying to keep up with the Chrysalis. I was like, okay, I'm not doing. And then fighting off the Thermos and Asimos, I just didn't have a chance. So it's a very, very tough deck. The blue-black is not favored in that matchup at all.
I can imagine. And did he ever go to Annoyed, to Boarding, to Avenger, or something of that nature?
No, but he did go Annoyed into Boarding, which, I mean, and then I think it was like Wild Growth after that. So it was.
He got two creatures at least out of it. One with haste.
I know.
Were you able to counter any of them, or did you just have to take it?
No, I countered the boarding party.
That's a good choice.
So yeah, it's like, since you and I have played that matchup so much, I knew the. I guess the writing was on the wall, because like when he started, like, because any top deck is good for the most part. Yeah. So I just was very, very surprised there.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty solid list overall. Just like I said, it seems like I said, as long as he can get to destroying what you need, like that's like pretty much that's what Ponza's there for. Ponza's there to punish the people who are getting greedy with their lands.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think you see that much in the other Eternal formats like Pioneer and Modern at the moment.
No, I've always wondered that too. Just anytime there's like a prison deck or a land destruction deck, it's like it's
right. I think
artificially oppressed down.
Yep.
So
I think the thing you got to think about, which I know Gruul Ramp has that a little bit of a difference to it. Sometimes when you're playing against those decks, you have to out tempo them. What I mean by that is like they are going to get to a point where they're going to fizzle out, and that happens sometimes. And when they start fizzling out, that's when you got to take advantage of it. What I mean by fizzling out, I mean like, are they only just having land destruction spells? Are they only getting things to make them ramp? Is there any actual like anything that can actually help them in their current situation? Sometimes you have to look after those advantages and take those when you go against those matchups.
yeah, that's a really good point. There were some other decks there that, like I didn't play against it, but there was like Madness Burn, and I think there was one other Fairies player, blue-black Fairies.
Oh, there you go.
And then there was like a Walls deck, which got in the top 8, and I want to say like a white enchantment deck.
Really?
That was really cool. Yeah, I don't know if it was Fog or Cog Gates. But Glinthawk was very well represented because I know that card is good. But yeah, it's just so interesting. Some of the choices that people bring in their decks and stuff, I'm just so like, whoa. Like you have your archetype, but I love the different changes that people make because then you just don't know what's happening. And you're like, oh wow, this is crazy. You know?
Right. Yep. Now let's go to your last two matchups. We're about to hit a half an hour mark of this podcast, and I know this one's gonna be a little bit longer because we're gonna be talking about your matches, but we don't want to get too long. So I apologize for cutting you off there. But so your next matchup was Jund Wildfired, right? You said.
No, the next one was Goblin Burn.
Oh, Goblin Burn.
And
okay.
I could tell that it was a classic version of the deck.
Gotcha.
With Goblin Grenade, and it was actually quite I guess jarring because they knew their game plan and they were just gonna burn me out, and I was like, I only have Unexpected Fangs as lifelink, so I was a little nervous actually. I was like, oh shoot, if I lose this, I already have my 2 losses.
Right.
But I was able to find the Fangs and put it on the Angler, and that's the only thing that saved me. So it's like it was just like dumb luck that it happened. So you just kind of chalk it up as like that's part of it, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
And then I say the skill intense matchup that I had to really think about my plays was this next one was the Jund Wildfire. Like this one tested my will, so to speak, of just like, okay, I'm gonna play this out because I didn't look like I was gonna win, but they were not playing this specific version we're looking at with Wildfire and the Hydra. I think they were playing more of they were playing with like Land Grant, and they had a whole different game plan, but it was malevolent, I can't say it.
Malevolent?
Yeah, malevolent. The Rumble and Lead the Stampede. It was really good because they just came out of nowhere. Like, I was like, oh, I'm ahead. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, I'm ahead again. No, I'm not. And I just had to, it was war of attrition. Like, it was tough. But won the first round, which really helped. And then I just fought tooth and nail until I did end up winning that last the second round. So it was literally 0-2, 2-0, 02, 2020. So I think in retrospect, that's what helped me get into the top 8 was it was either there was like points or no points. I didn't have any of those others, so I kind of like I had those 6 wins.
And then it went
4 losses.
Then it went crashing downhill after your next matchup.
Yeah. So let's just say this, and we'll wrap up this part of it. Is I get into the top 8, play the same opponent as I did the last top 8. He's a cool guy, very good. He just played his first, and I saw the scout, and I saw that it was Boggles. And I just kind of sighed, and I was like, okay, I know what to do, but can I do it? That's literally what in my head, right? I didn't want to give away what I was doing. I'm pretty sure he probably knew what I was playing by then, getting to the top 8, but I didn't know what he was playing. And, I thought I was going to get there, and then lost that first round. I was like, oh, shoot. So went to the sideboard, got all my tech.
I was going to say, so always bring your Chainer of Ethics or some sort of sacrifice.
Oh, the Chainer Edicts, yeah. Well, I had the where's it at? I had the Extracted Confession, which was awesome. It worked just like I wanted it to. So, his mindset was playing on the no one's bringing edict effects. So like I had to, combat, like I had to block, and man, he fought through like 2 Rancors. Like I got the Rancor off, but then he had more, and I'm like, that trample. It's like that's what did it in. Like if I was able to get him to not have trample, I could have probably stabilized and just done the whole like block with Sneaky Snacker, bring him back. That whole trick. I was for sure thought that's what I was going to be able to do, but I thought I was going to get there in game 2 and have a game 3, but didn't work out. So I ended up winning 2 packs of the new set play booster. Funny enough, I pulled a Draco Genesis, which is like $15 right now, and then a Mistfire Village, which is the blue land, and it's like $5. So I got my entry fee back.
There you go.
That was hilarious. So I was just like, it's kind of like all in all, it was super fun. It
good.
Was
good. I like to hear that.
Yeah, and next one is there's a Pauper 1K in August, so I know that's quite a ways away, but there's other like window boxes every month or 2, so
gotcha.
If it works out with work, I'm gonna do another one, but if not, we'll just that's why kind of my next project is just getting all my Pauper decks made. And you could probably find the video we did a long time ago where I was going to make a Pauper battle box, but
never happened.
Finally going to get to that. Never happened, but now it is. I'm literally looking at the cards right now on my desk that hopefully by the end of this week I'll at least have like everything in a deck box, and then the cards like not in there, and I just put a little note like need these cards, and I'll put the piece of paper in there.
Yep.
And then I'll have like these archetypes built. So that way, as the meta changes, I think that it is important, and we can talk about this maybe next week when we talk more about archetypes.
And kind of what I'm thinking right now, just giving you a heads up. I think what I'm going to do is for this episode. I know we're talking on the fly here. I think I'm going to end it after you get done talking about the rest of your tournament, and I think we're just going to dedicate this one for your Pauper one, so we don't make it too long for the people, and then we might just record another one for this week's episode. How's that?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool.
If we need to, we can edit this part out. But I just wanted to make you feel more comfortable. You can keep talking. So.
Oh, no. And it's okay. No, I feel like, because I come up with ideas as we're talking of like, I guess kind of, let me think of my brain. Yes, with archetypes. So we can talk about that later in general of just like why I think it's important to understand your archetypes going into a tournament, but also be nimble enough to like try different decks out, kind of like what you're doing right now.
Absolutely.
You're playing different decks and stuff like that. So But yeah, no, that's pretty much the tournament.
Cool deal. Well, I guess before we end this episode, because we might do a twofer this week. Sounds like we're going to do a twofer. What would be your advice to anyone before they go to a tournament? Sleep.
No,
Fair enough.
Yes. Sleep and drink water. No, in all reality, current state of life is, work, family, all these other things, right? And when you have hobby time, which tends to be less and less each week and each day, some days, but when you have those things you want to do, I say the thing is just try to focus. Like when you're really focused on it, just spend the time, the hour, 2 hours. That's all I did. I literally I changed my deck at the last minute, but it was an archetype I've played for many years, so I knew what to do. Like if I would have switched to like Writhing Chrysalis or like Boarding Party, excuse me, my mulligans and stuff, I wouldn't know what to do. So this was a little bit of a shot in the dark, but I was like, I probably should play something different. And when I saw this deck and it got 8th place in this Pauper challenge, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it because the cards are familiar enough that I know like what's going on. And it's the same game plan as blue. You just have a different way of getting to that point. At some point I want to brew up an Is It controlled deck with Murmuring Mystic being the win condition, because I really love that card. I know I need to get the snow-covered mountains and islands, and some days I'm like, they're just too expensive to justify some days, but like for my taste, like I know they're like $1 to $2 a piece, but I'm like, then I would need to get the Scred, and then I think there's one other card I need, but that will be that's one of the archetypes I want to build, is actually have the blue-red. I have the Jeskai Ephemerate stuff, but I want to build like the other version for the control for blue-red. Right. So,
well, I say, I think that's a very interesting, like I said, way gone. I think hopefully in the future we can start recording more gameplay, especially I think late June we're going to try to get our tabletop simulator, and we can start practicing a lot more and get you more ready for your next tournament. Yeah,
that'd be really fun.
Well, like I said, I think we're going to end it there for this episode. I appreciate everyone listening. I think it's always great to hear about people's tournaments and just kind of hearing how things went on their side. If I was a little bit more quiet on this episode, I apologize. But I really just wanted you guys to hear from AJ this time, because AJ, between us two, he's the one that's playing the most right now. And I think it's really cool to hear aspects of people playing their decks and how their mindsets they go into in each tournament. It's something that you just don't get to hear often, and when you can hear it from your average day Joe, it's even better.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, thank you everyone for this episode, and you have a great rest of your week. Bye.
From the draft to sealed and standard to commander decks, we play for the honor, but we're all still wrecks. Legends in the making with our cardboard in our hand, in the realm of magic on this sacred gaming land. It's magic in the cards and that old beat up box where we trade and collect them around the ticking clocks. In a world of dragons, elves, and enchanted lands so far, we find our battles and friendships with magic in the cards. Yeah, the magic in the cards. Magic in the cards. With magic in the cards. Magic in the cards.